Good afternoon. It's afternoon here in Kansas City, just after 1 o'clock. It is 4th of July. Woohoo! See, my hands are up here. So, with that said, I'm going to tell everybody happy 4th of July and be safe out there and drink responsibly. I have my water right here. Ice cold water. Good stuff. So, I do want to mention that before we go on, part of my lawsuit with Judge Bowe is going to be, I'm going to file an injunction, which is a court order. I don't think Miss Bundy, Honorable Miss Bundy, can do anything about that. Not really. Not when it's a court order. It's an injunction. But she might have, because see, I have to put her name on that injunction too. You see. Because it's a federal judge. Because of a little known laws, see, federal employees, the federal, either a U.S. attorney or the United States Attorney General has to represent federal employees. Sure, she'd want to be a part of this one. Or assign somebody to be a part of this one anyway. But she'll get served eventually. And Judge Bowe, he can't be the judge on this. No, he can't. Conflict of interest. In his own court, be the judge on be a defendant. He's the defendant. No, I'm the plaintiff. I'm the one initiating the lawsuit. Dingbat. Miss Jasper don't know what she's talking about. She's a real dingbat, I think, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. There's a lot of dingbats over there. With KY3. A lot of dingbats with misinformation. So, with that said, we're going to go into, I looked up what is the law that is a crime to lie to the FBI. Here it is. It's a very broad law, meaning that you can get charged for lying to anybody in the government, basically. 18 U.S. Code 1001, statements or entries generally. Except as otherwise provided, Section A. Except as otherwise provided, and this is from Cornell. That's where smart people go. I don't know about C of O. I only work there. Except as otherwise provided in this section, whoever, in any manner within the jurisdiction, that means like physical jurisdiction, jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, or judicial branch of the government of the United States, knowingly and willfully, 1. Falsifies, conceals, or covers up by any trick, scheme, or device a material fact, makes any material, false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation, makes or uses any false writing or document knowing the same to contain materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry, shall be fined under this title in prison not more than 5 years. Federal prison. You can go next door to El Chapo. He's in federal prison. Supermax. If the offense involves international domestic terrorism, international or domestic terrorism, in prison not more than 8 years or both. If the matter relates to an offense under chapter blah 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 blah, then the term is imprisonment or this imprisonment is not more than 8 years. It goes into more about it, but to me that means you can get at least 5 to 8 years for lying to the FBI. Like these ladies that keep telling them that I'm in some sort of relationship with them when I'm not. I'm simply not. The only reason they're saying I am is because they're trying to get out of trouble. That's it. Think about it. They're trying to get out of being arrested. That's why they say no charges, because they're trying to get out of being arrested. That's why they harp on the, oh, he posted this blah 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 years ago. Because why? They're trying to get out of charges. They're not the victims. No, they're not. So let's go over here. Let's go over here to what is the legal definition of material? Hang on. Material facts in the context of federal law. 18 U.S. Code statement or statements or entries generally. And survey says we're getting an answer. In the context of 18 U.S.C., that's United States Criminal Code. That's what that stands for, Trump. I bet you don't know what that stands for. A material fact is one that has a natural tendency or to influence or is capable of influencing a governmental entity's decision, regardless of whether the agency actually relied on it, according to Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. It's not about whether the statement directly caused a specific outcome, but its potential impact on the government's functions. Lying and saying, he don't get nothing. He don't get nothing. That sounds like a bully to me. He don't get nothing. Affect the outcome. If it's said enough, and it's said forcibly enough, materiality is an objective standard. It's assessed based on what a reasonable person would consider relevant to a decision, not just the specific impact on a particular case. Relevant. he don't get nothing. What's relevant about that? I don't know. No need for actual reliance. The government doesn't need to prove that the agency was actually swayed. By the false statement, just that it had potential to do so. You see, that's all they had to prove, is that they had potential. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you hear them say, "Oh, he's got a lot of potential." well, they had the potential to do so. Impact on the government functions. The key question is whether the false statement could have affected government decision-making process, regardless of a specific agency involved, the effective executive, legislative, or judicial. Examples of a false statement on an application for a government grant, fraudulent document submitted to Congress, or a misleading statement to a federal investigator could all be considered material if they had potential to influence the government's actions, says the Department of Justice. But you didn't know that either. So, good thing I took a screenshot of those emails I sent to the FBI. See if they weren't changed. So, I got a couple more things to go over, but I might make that in a second video. So, have a good day.